everyone, welcome to a Pro Dota commentary done by Luminous and LD. Today we're casting the best of 3 series between Na'Vi and M5, two very strong East European teams. And it looks like we have Na'Vi opening up with the draft. They do ban the Leshrac and a Darkseer, and we talked about how Darkseer is kind of M5's go-to hero. So one thing they cannot fall back upon. And of course, we're going to see the last ban here from M5 to be the Chen. They have banned Lycanthrope and the Invoker so far. And LD, how do you feel about today?
We are back in the game. I'm very excited. I'm really hoping to see our first best out of 3 series actually go 3 games, because so far, I'm not going to lie, they have been pretty one-sided. I mean, the quality of play from the winning teams has been quite good, but of course, you love to see a more competitive series. Now, Na'Vi may not be the easiest team to go 3 versus, but if anyone can do it, M5 is certainly on that list of teams, as they've been playing reasonably well. They do apparently have a stand-in here, so maybe not bringing their best competitive roster forward, but we are seeing a lot of team fight heroes banned out early on, so to me, there's still Chen in the pool, there's still Enchantress in the pool. I'd be really surprised if M5 doesn't ban Chen. They already banned Lycan, so clearly, a little bit worried about that early pushing. We'll have to see where they go from here, but I would ban Chen.
I do hear your kitten in the background. I'm just saying, it's a cute. I love cat, by the way. Not that it's important to this cast, but we are just waiting for M5's third ban, either to applaud for the third ban or completely rip PGG. Oh my goodness!
Time to flame.
Time to flame.
Yeah, Broodmother banned, so at least they're banning pushing heroes. I will give them that much. I mean, I think it's crazy to leave Chen out there, but who knows? Maybe not. I haven't been watching their scrims or anything, so maybe Na'Vi, for whatever reason, has not been playing Chen much, and M5 is banking on them not first picking it, but I'd be very surprised if they don't. As they're going to go for Furion, so another pushing hero, of course.
Which actually, I think I'm totally fine with this. Just talking about from the pregame analysis that we did, Na'Vi historically very good against Chen. So if the enemy team pick up Chen here, that's totally fine with them. And they could have the Enchantress as a backup, so they're okay. Picking up Prophet, though, right from the get-go, I do believe he's one of the best hero in the pool right now. Give you so much. Live Heaven, by the way, plays a beautiful Prophet. So I think having Prophet up right now and ability to go into either jungler, Chen or Enchantress, gives them a very good leg up in this draft. So I think right now, Puppey doing a great job here in the pick stage.
Yeah, this goes back to what we were talking about in the pregame. Na'Vi has a lot of confidence playing against Prophet, or not against Prophet, against Chen. We've seen them do it. The stats bear out that they can handle him quite well, and they're not going to be afraid to let the enemy team get him. If somehow Prophet slips through M5's fingers here, though, I'd be very surprised not to see Na'Vi second pick him. I think he's definitely worth it, especially for a team like them that's so reliable with that hero. In terms of what got banned, I mean, to me, it looks like mostly teamfight. Of course, there's the Respect ban for the Darkseer. I'm actually going to throw my cat outside the room, as she will not be quiet, so why don't you pick it up?
Your cat also not happy with the lack of Chen ban here, and PGG taking a little bit of time, thinking what should we go here into next. Now, of course, one of the signature hero is Night Stalker. They play a very aggressive ganking lineup, although that kind of lineup, that kind of playstyle fits the Na'Vi quite a bit. So there you go, there's a Windrunner and the Chen. So at the very least, they give themselves a very strong long lane, and of course the Chen pick. And we have a Lone Druid. Lone Druid, by the way, has not won a single Dota 2 game. I'm not sure, I've been watching the wrong game, but from the statistics I've been watching, I think he might have won one.
Yeah, maybe one pub game out there. No, of course he's been winning in pubs here and there, but has not been very successful in the competitive scene. I'm sure he's won a match, but I certainly have not watched any matches where he's won. In fact, every time we've cast him, he's had a lot of trouble. It's the first time we cast him, he went for a very support-oriented build, got ganked a lot. I think he ended up getting like a pipe and a mechanism, and really didn't contribute at all. His team got rolled pretty hard. The more standard way to play him is to rush a Radiance, go into Assault Cuirass, go for a very push-oriented build, and a little bit more of a carry style. That didn't work either when we watched it, so not sure what's going on. Maybe it's the micro, maybe it's just the rest of the team not playing up to par. Of course, this hero has been absolute first pick, first ban material, or at least it was for a while in the Chinese scene. But recently, in Dota 1, but recently not too effective in Dota 2. So hopefully Na'Vi will show us how it's done. Personally, Lone Druid is one of my favorite heroes to play.
Yeah, speaking of Na'Vi's picks here, I'm not sure whether where Puppey's going with this. Puppey, one of the best captains of all time. Here's where I kind of have some issues. First, you pick up 3 solo hero. Of course, Prophet can't go in the jungle. Same with Lone Druid, although I assume all 3 of those heroes would go to jungle. I think an Enchantress ban right here would actually do it because you have 3 solos. The supports will be very clunky. All of these 3 solos from the Na'Vi side require solo EXP, so you don't want to put supports in the lane. So I think banning Enchantress, shutting down the jungle factor here from Na'Vi would really, and Enchantress is the counter. Okay, is it just me that is completely baffled why there's no Enchantress pick?
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess they don't respect M5's Chen at all, and they're not worried about countering it. Of course, Enchantress mostly an early game counter to Chen because she can just take over his creeps at an alarming rate and can have more of an army before Chen hits level. I guess it's before he hits level 7. Enchantress will have the edge in terms of number of creeps as long as she keeps on taking them over. So. I don't know. They're going for Vengeful Spirit here. This is a lot of heroes that are pretty EXP reliant. Now, they do have 2 heroes that can be in the jungle. But Vengeful Spirit, one of the more EXP reliant supports, I would say, really wants to hit level 6 and ideally level 11. Especially against a hero like Chen. If you can swap him out and disable him before he can use any of his support items or skills, say his Mechanism, the Hand of God, and of course that Holy Persuasion to send allies home, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So, I mean, you can argue Venge doesn't need the levels, but I think in a game like this, you really want to be picking off some of these heroes on M5 before they can get anything done. And of course, the rest of their heroes very farm reliant, very EXP reliant.
Yeah, I feel like the Riki was a very strong pick. That Cloud, not only does it do the stuns, very underrated is the mischance. Against a hero like Syllabear who requires hitting and proccing constantly, that mischance will mess him up quite a bit. So I feel like Riki will be a very strong pick. He is a great hero against a lot of these squishy supports and whatnot. And there's only one really legitimate 4-staff buyer here. Of course, I'm talking about a Prophet. I guess Queen of Pain can get a 4-staff, same thing with the Venge, but that's not common at all. And 4-staff is kind of what you need to deal with a Riki Maru. So, or Riki in Dota 2. So let's see what our last pick here from Na'Vi. I do bet money on it. It is going to be a support. Na'Vi love to 5th pick support all the time. So they're mulling over the options right now. Not many good supports left in the pool. I guess if you want to go with the pushing theme, Twin Head Dragon's Liquid Fire would be a very good pickup. I still will be a big fan of something like a Enchantress. I guess Earthshaker is a possibility as well, given the fact that Fissure would be a very good counter to the Black Hole, as well as a decent tool to stop any kind of Chen ganks and whatnot. So we'll see what Na'Vi goes from here.
Where's the anti-push is my question, Luminous, because yeah, they have the Prophet ultimate. Queen of Pain has some decent AoE. But Queen of Pain really doesn't want to be standing next to a bunch of minions early on, as she will not be taking. And they're going to go with Kunkka, so there you go. I asked for anti-push. I got it in spades. As we're going to see Tidebringer, Torrent, and of course that big ghost ship scaring off any pushes. So farming Kunkka, farming Syllabear. I wonder, were they watching... I mean, maybe it won't be a farming Kunkka, but what do you know? I wonder if they're watching that game we cast where Kunkka ended up countering the Syllabear quite hard, just because his cleave actually ignores armor.
Yes.
And so even though Syllabear has a very high natural armor and went for Assault Cuirass, Kunkka did not care about that with his cleave, and he was just murdering a very farmed Syllabear. I believe this was the game I was talking about earlier, but we'll have to see how they play it.
Although this time they have Syllabear on their team, so...
Yeah, I know. So maybe I'm saying maybe it was to take it out of M5's hands.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if M5's gonna play Kunkka. I think that's reading too much into it. But Kunkka, I mean, that's Tidebringer Special is a decent counter pushing tool, but you have to keep in mind that you have to actually walk up to the creeps, which may or may not happen. I'm just worried where the hell Na'Vi is gonna be laning this. How are they gonna lane this? Where's it? Look at how EXP dependent this team. Now, a couple of days ago, we talked about when the Fnatic RC, the Han squad that moved from Dota, or the squad that moved from Han to Dota 2, they picked a very similar lineup here where they require a lot of EXP hero, and it just ended up didn't working out for them. With Na'Vi picking this lineup, I have a little bit more confidence.
They might be going for level 1 Roshan, as I'm just noticing they have some minus armor, they have the summons to take it up. No, it looks like they might not be. This is definitely a lineup that could do it, though. Because they have the minus armor and the summons. There are a few heroes headed in the direction of the pit.
No, Vengeful Spirit took Magic Missile at 1, so you could, that's clearly not
okay, that's not happening then.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see her gank with the Kunkka. Torrent plus Magic Missile is not a bad early game combo. I mean, they got to do something to free up the lanes here. Do you think, I guess Prophet's going to be solo top, it looks like?
I think Prophet has to jungle. Prophet has to jungle. They have too many solo heroes. They looks like they're gonna run a Venge Kunkka on the bot. Depending what they actually lane up against, if let's say it's a solo Windrunner, do actually look out for Dendi, who's playing the Kunkka, to actually put a couple points into X, because X is a very underrated early skill to take, especially against those pesky silent hero that with Great Escape. I'm talking about, you know, the Windrunner from Windrunner, the Podum's Leap, the Blink from Quap, the Pug's Illusory Orb. If you get 2 levels of X, I mean, those heroes are very, very squishy. They're very dependent on those escape spells, and you can easily get kills from them. I do believe he's gonna go into like a dual into like a dual trialing here, something against a Riki with a jungle trend. I'm not sure how it's gonna work in the favor of Navi. I'm just judging from the heroes. I gotta say M5's got better heroes.
Yeah, I mean, if Navi finds the farm, I think they'll be fine. Oh, and the levels, which this is Navi. I mean, somehow they always seem to, but it's going to be tough early on. We actually do see Syllabear and Kunkka both headed down to the bottom lane. I doubt they're both going to stay there, as I don't see really any synergy between these two. Until that Lone Druid hits level 5, then he gets Entangle. That can set up a Torrent. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing with the lanes early. I'm probably just going to do some early warding. Queen of Pain is going to be middle, it looks like. Venge is playing support this game, as you mentioned, and did pick up Magic Missile. Looks like Prophet not tipping his hand in terms of item build here. Well, he's got the Courier.
He's got 2 Clarity, so I assume he is going to be going jungler. I don't think any laning Furion would ever pick up 2 Clarity, so... and it's Puppy playing it, so I do assume it's a jungle Prophet. Looking at Lone Druid's item here, he does have a Boots of Sleep first, which is an indication that he might try to long lane solo bot. He's going to use the barrier to skip behind the level, or the tier 1 and tier 2 tower on the enemy side and try to pull it. And having the booted speed on his hero would make him a little bit more difficult to dive to get out of any stun or disable range. And I do believe Dendi is just taking a stroll on the bot lane. He's probably going to end up on the top. And, you know, they still have a good pushing hero coming out of jungle, which in the form of a Prophet. So maybe we've been hyping on Chen and Enchantress. Well, you know, Prophet is another option if they want to go that route. I'm just completely curious of how... if Lone Druid is going to go bot, how is Lone Druid going to stop a push coming their way? I don't think Lone Druid is a hero that's capable of doing that.
Yeah, he's not a strong anti-pusher. Of course, if he gets up some big items on the bear, then he's very competent at it. But early game, the bear, it can tank, but it's not going to do any damage. It has no AoE or creep cleared abilities. In terms of the Prophet, I was actually talking more about the item build. I think I'm guessing we're going to see a support Prophet maybe go for an Urn and a Mechanism, as he did buy the Courier. Like you said, it looks like he's going to be jungling. I also don't... If the Radiant want to, they could also push the top lane. Kunkka has some decent creep clearing ability, but he's not going to be safe to approach the creep wave if we see that Enigma or the Chen showing up there. So I think whichever lane M5 wants to push, Navi's going to have a really hard time stopping it. They're going to have to catch a hero out of position, and it's really going to come down to the Prophet. Can he get a good gank off? If he can, that's going to give them the levels. The quick level 6 is really what they're looking for. Not only on the Prophet, also on the Queen of Pain, and even the Vengeful Spirit. They need these spells to get hero pickoffs early on. In the mid game, their team fight is fine. I mean, I don't think they're horribly lacking in that regard. But if they don't get there before they lose too many towers, then they're going to be in for some trouble.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the Windrunner player in mid lane. It is VVV. I'm not sure whether this is one of many Vigas's many I don't know, Smurfs, but statistically, like, M5 has never lost a game of Dota 2. Yes, never. When Vegas is on Windrunner. That's just going by statistics. He's like, I think 100%.
Like 9-0 or something. It's a pretty... It might not be that high, but they've won a lot of games with him, and yeah, he is undefeated.
Yeah, so I know, you know, some of you viewers out there might be more familiar with his many Smurf accounts. But hey, Windrunner going mid. I do believe Vegas does play his Windrunner mid. So I guess that's a good sign for M5. Again, this long pause is making us run out of things to say, but still, I'm favoring M5's lineup. If these two teams swap the lineup, I'll be like, okay, GG guys. But you know, you never could count anything out when Navi's in the game.
I think they recently changed Enigma's model, so there you go. There's something to talk about. He looks like he's a disco ball or something. It's got all these shiny lights flying around on him. He is going to be jungling from the looks of it. Probably going to rush a Soul Ring. Riki has not bought anything, so no idea where he's going to be headed.
Oh no, I think Enigma might actually solo a long lane because Chen is going to be jungling, and then you have Witch Doctor and Riki.
Yeah, I guess he could be using those clarities going to the solo long lane and just denying a lot of creeps. That's another issue for, I mean, of course the Enigma pick fits in well if you want to deny EXP to an EXP hungry lineup. Now, in theory, they can do some pulling. The Prophet can be jungling, so it'll help mitigate that Enigma effect a little bit. But it's
not
going
a
to
good
make life
sign.
even harder for an EXP dependent line. And maybe, maybe a Lich wouldn't have been a bad choice here as well, because it is decent against the Syllabear. But that's a little bit cheesy to go all in on the Enigma Lich just for the denying power early on.
I would actually go on the flip side and say Navi loves to play against this type of hero, judging from the fact that push. That's exactly where I was going with it. If you deny creep, hey, that's one less creep to mow down upon. You're saying, well, Eidolons, they could actually do some damage. They could tackle, not against a Tidebringer Slash. They will just get hunted down with one hit. So, Puppey, like I talked about during the pregame analysis, very, very good in terms of judging where the creep equilibrium will be going. So, I don't know how he does it. Some magic camera going on or something. But once you see the creep wave, and always when I see a creep wave or destroying a tower, there's always a siege unit in it. Like Navi is just so good in terms of calculating when the siege unit is going to come. They have marked it down to the exact science. And having PGs denying creep, hey, they're happy with that. Especially if you get a kill or two against PGG. There's some mad foreign language spam going on, and I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't speak. I can't read Cyrillic. I don't know what they're saying, but I do know that SS is disconnected. So until this Riki gets back into the game, we're going to be sitting here waiting at the pause screen. As I may actually put on some music. Either way, we are going to see an unpause happen here. Furion Treant is going to be scouting out the jungle. Probably doing a little rune checky with the next set of Treants. As we do see NS heading towards the bottom lane, maybe looking to ward up a pull camp. Maybe we'll see a Magic Bush ward. He's probably not going to have a fun time here if he runs into these M5 heroes who are grouping up. This might be a dead NS. The Treants are going to scout it out, so he should be able to get away. He's going to drop the Magic Bush ward. I'm not sure it was scouted, actually. It was not scouted, so we'll have to see if that gets dewarded. If it's a defensive jungle Chen, that's actually a huge loss. Not only does it prevent pulling in the lane, it also will obviously block the hard camp, which means one less set of useful big creeps for him to dominate.
Yeah, no Sentry Ward or no go for the Sentry Ward for either of these supports. I gotta say, that's probably a mistake. A lot of professional support players nowadays are not actually spending the last 200 gold. They're gonna just hold out on it just in case to see whether they need to actually put on Sentry Ward. Some players even just buy Sentry Ward from the get-go. So yeah, like you pointed out, 2 jungles set down. These are 2 big camps because the nearest big camp is gonna be all the way at the mid lane. And so Chen's going to have a tough time grabbing any good creep. So I think that one Observer Ward just shut down that Chen in the jungle. That's a very, very strong way to go about it. Back on the top lane here, Dendi is in position. I do believe Venge is going to make his way up top there. And of course, Puppey is in the jungle. Very, very smartly putting his name backwards so no one will recognize him.
Yeah, we are going to see Queen of Pain laning against Windrunner. I'd say this is a pretty even lane. Now, they have similar ability to push the creeps. They do similar damage. Windrunner does have a little bit better of an auto attack. Going to be able to harass a little more. But Queen of Pain, of course, having the better ability to get to the runes with that blink. We're seeing both teams having good ward coverage of the runes. So I expect that lane will be pretty balanced, mostly coming down to individual skill or, the jungler. Furion, of course, one of the best heroes to have on your team for getting those early runes. So that could be another way that he impacts this game. Of course, denying that Queen of Pain her ability to rune. She's very dependent on him to gank early on.
Yeah, both solo mids are very reliant on the runes, which makes me think that whoever doesn't get the rune might be going for a little bit of bottle crawling to mitigate for that, which is completely fine. Neither of these heroes went for the quick bottle build. They went for the most stats possible, so I guess runes isn't the biggest deal, but of course both of these heroes will be going for bottle eventually. Back in the bottom here, Lone Drip's bear is no longer in action. I guess it just died or has...
No, he's
walking all the way back.
Yeah. Yeah, it got harassed down within the first minute or so. And he did, this is very smart. If the bear's low, you might as well just send it back because it's not going to do anything anyway. And that way you save the cooldown, as the cooldown to summon the bear is extremely long. But this does mean with the bear out of the fight, he's going to have a harder time harassing and last hitting. As we do see Chen straight up, so here's that push that we were concerned about for Navi. And will Lone Drip be able to do anything to slow this down? I don't think so. It's not the strongest push, it's only a level 1 Chen. Or excuse me, a level 2 Chen, which means 1 level in his, or 1 creep at a time, but it's still going to be enough to do some damage to this tower.
He's got the best pushing creep, the Trolls. The Dark Troll Warlord, because those 2 skeletons, they do just as damage as the melee creep. Secret Caskets get dropped, they want to push, immediate teleportation comes in from Puppey. So that's their attempt, they're going to defend this. There's a net, no one really following you up. And I think with the Chen TP, with the Prophet TP, that should be it. He will be able to summon Treant if necessary, so Yeah, seems like they want to be defensive about it. Meanwhile, First Blood goes on the other side of the map, a magic missile into a torrent, and well, it was quite easy there.
Yeah, and now we're going to see that tier 1 push that we talked about from Navi. It's only 2.5 minutes in. This is a Vengeful Spirit and a Kunkka, not the strongest early game pushing heroes by any stretch of the imagination. But if you get hero kills, that's going to allow you to push. The tower already taking about 550 damage, so almost half of its health, actually. Or maybe more like a third, but either way, quite a bit of damage coming on that tower. Meanwhile, the TP from Prophet very timely, as he is able to prevent that tower from taking any damage. So, despite the best efforts of M5 to get a push going, just a simple TP from the Prophet, enough to slow it down.
Meanwhile here, Venge and Kunkka diving past the tower. There's a magic missile and a torrent's gonna hit PGG very low in shape. He's gonna go down again. Second kill goes to this top lane here. Meanwhile, Venge taking quite a bit of damage. In fact, they're gonna turn around and go for these Eidolons. No one escapes Dendy's farming sword as everyone gets cleaved down. Dendy, by the way, absolutely filthy rich. After that, he's gonna get a Ring of Health. Probably can go for Phase Boot and Vanguard is going to be built, but Dendy always not afraid to go for any crazy other builds. Navi, Puppey TP's back to the top lane here, and this tier 1, again, going down. It's going to be the 4-minute tier 1. Siege Unit is going to be helping destroy. Didn't I say that? Hey, whenever a tower gets destroyed, Siege Unit is always involved in it somehow. And I think they could even go for tier 2.
Yeah, not only do they get that tower, but M5 getting absolutely nothing in return. It's again, they have the Chen, they have the Enigma. You'd expect to see them pushing. And I wonder if maybe they should have laned it differently so that the Enigma and Chen are on the same side of the map, because they're just not able to get much going on the bottom lane. They are going to finally start damaging this tower, but meanwhile the push continues on the top lane. Like you said, the tier 2 already in danger of being damaged down here. Kunkka doing a great job versus these Eidolons. And Eidolon's really not that effective against him. I guess, you know, despite the fact that I don't think Kunkka's really that strong early on at pushing, they're getting the kills that's leading to towers, and that's exactly what they want. In the mid lane, it seems to be fairly even. We see a bottle up on both tiers. Actually, boots up on the Queen of Pain. No boots for the Windrunner, so Windrunner actually losing this lane pretty heavily, I guess. Or maybe that's just the tower gold talking there.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. I mean, tower gold is 200 for the Queen of Pain. But yeah, she is going to be ahead because of her teammates and her. Meanwhile, M5 not really doing too much to push that bot tower. Now Chen going back to jungle. I suppose that ward did shut him down a little bit. And that had an effect in this game. He did ward those wards right now. But yeah, he is effectively shut down for at least 2 to 3 minutes. Meanwhile, Syllabur is still okay. You can see, look at his skill build here. Has taken a single point into his Rapid, which in combination with his now completed Phase Boot will be moving fast as lightning. Somehow he's got up to Phase Boot again thanks to his teammates pushing down the tower on the other side of the map. But now he could actually successfully, easily lane control, even against the dual lane. So I feel like 0-3 so far. It's very, very smooth sailing from this point on for Navi.
Yeah, 2 heroes smoked up for M5. They are going to be going for a backstep here in Light of Heaven, but he's got Phase Boot, so it's going to be pretty hard to kill him. I think they can do it. The Chain Stun is going to have to be good. We're going to see the Centaur coming in first. Cass not going to be bouncing. Stomp to follow. Actually, looks like they're going to have more than enough to bring him down. Meanwhile, Navi not getting anything in return for that, so a much needed kill, but at the same time, Lone Druid soloing that long lane versus what was at times a tri-lane, still able to hit level 5 and get Phase Boots. That's a pretty good trade if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm sure they were okay. They were not happy with that kill, but they're completely fine with it given that he already has Phase Boot. Once you have the Phase Boot, you could actually farm mid-game very easily. Queen of Pain's going to find herself a haste rune, and looks like with Invis, might be actually setting up gank here on PGG. PGG, by the way, forced to go back to to the base again. He picked up to a Soul Ring, although I'm not too sure how much that's going to help. And now Vengeful Spirit is smoked up as well. Smoke is going to be running out very, very soon. They're hunting for PGG, and PGG knows it, and he's going to stay at the protection of that tier 2 tower. Although I'm not too sure how much that's going to protect him, given the fact that now Kunkka already has enough mana for Torn and Bolt, and he's got himself
middle
a Vanguard.
Lane, Vigas getting dove. It looks like this might be a turnaround though. Queen of Pain overstaying her welcome. Gonna get Chain Stun down. Very nice play by M5 with the counter gank there. And meanwhile, the gank has not been successful so far on the top lane. In terms of item progression, we do see Dendy pick up the Vanguard. So again, a pretty strong pushy item. This allows him to tank tower shots as well as those Eidolons. Really not going to care about them.
Top lane, top lane.
Magic Missile. Looks like PGG going to be going down again. Boat comes in. Furion comes in. Windrunner comes in as well. Everyone's showing up to the party in this top lane. Only 1 kill so far. The Centaur running in to try and do what he can to slow down the push. Looks like Navi is going to go ahead and back off. Vengeful Spirit extremely low is going to salve up. But I think this push is going to at least be slowed down for now. Meanwhile, Riki's still looking for that level 6 in the bottom lane. Once he gets it, can actually be a pretty
mid lane. We do have Queen of Pain diving for that Witch Doctor. He's gonna get a kill. Will he have Blink? He does have haste when he gets stunned up under the tower. PGG, does he have Black Hole? He will use the Black Hole to get the kill. I believe that was well worth the kill. Just taking advantage of the fact that Blink was not leveled up very much so he was able to get the kill there. One more thing to point out is that Prophet did get himself an urn and was able to TP in for that 2 urn charges on the first kill. Drop 1 immediately on the Windrunner, has 1 more to go. He's not going to use it for self-healing, going to use it for 150 damage DOT over time. And that's a very, very important aspect of a Prophet gank. Looks like we're going to have M5 trying to push down tier 1 in the middle, although I'm pretty sure Navi's going to muster up a defense over here. Well, as I say that, no defense is coming in.
We do see that Prophet ultimate. It's going to damage down the Eidolons a decent amount. Not going to be enough on its own tower. It's going to drop. So again, another tier 1 tower for... Well, a tier 1 tower that goes pretty much uncontested there, I should say. And meanwhile, Kunkka just farming it up in the top lane. Gonna be going for, looks like, Power Tread, so very tanky already, 1400 health. Can easily stand in the front lines when they elect to go for a more mid-game push. Meanwhile, if you look at the enemy, I mean, I guess Navi sort of has a couple of semi-carries here. But really the only carry on the Radiant side is this Riki, who's sitting at 700 health. He does have Power Treads. He's going to have another 1,000 gold. Probably going to be going for that Diffusal Blade. But he may need a Vanguard of his own just to be able to tank up against this Dire lineup.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to spend gold to buy the Vanguard, but you might actually have to do it in this game. Looks like Prophet is going to try to set up a push in the mid lane. Windrunner doing whatever she can to actually power shot the creep wave, weaken it, but another Treants gets summoned. These Treants, by the way, are so tanky. 550 HP. Power shot's going to mow everyone down, but hey, Prophet says, nope, no problem. Just walk all the way in. They're going to do some damage. I don't think they will bring down this tower, considering that there's 2 supports waiting on the wings to defend this push. But Vigos, or whoever is playing this Windrunner, running very low in terms of mana. There's a Tornado being summoned, trying to stymie this push, although this tower already half HP.
Yeah, Dendi is just not leaving this top lane either, so we're seeing constant pressure in 3 lanes. Light of Heaven pressuring the bottom lane, Dendi pressuring the top lane, and then a variety of heroes pressuring the middle lane. For now, M5 is holding off the push, but this is not exactly the opposite of how they want the early game to be going. If this Dire lineup goes late, or even to the mid game without dying too much, I don't really see what what M5 can do about it. They're very reliant on a long cooldown ultimate in terms of that Enigma Black Hole. Aside from that, no great team fight. I mean, even the Chen ultimate, pretty long cooldown. So they got to get something going pretty soon. I actually think they're in a... I don't want to call it a dire situation, but they're not in a good spot here. I mean, yeah, Riki's a decent carry, but he's not going to out-carry four semi-carries / carries on the enemy squad. Plus, you'll get Avenge, one of the best late-game supports. And Navi sitting on a nice gold lead here, as well as an experience lead. So, yeah, I actually think it's a little more urgent than M5 than you might think, even though they're not dying a lot right now.
Yeah, we talked about earlier how, I guess, Puppey picked up a very, quote-unquote, greedy lineup. That's not going to do too much early game. Because they're very much so mid-game heroes, and they survived the early game fairly decently. They are ahead in terms of hero kill, they're even in terms of tower kills. Against a Chen, you don't expect that kind of thing to be happening, but hey, they survived it. One thing I want to point out here for the Syllabir is that he actually went for his ultimate at level 6. That's like the first time I've seen a professional player done it. This is the correct way to do it. Looking at his item build, he's going to go for Vlad, so no Radiance Rush. He's going to go for it, you know, pushing, which is kind of what Navi wants to do. So this does not surprise me at all, and I do believe it's going to work out perfectly here.
Yeah, speaking of pushing, this top tower is continuing to be pressured. I agree, Vlad's is a fantastic choice here. When you're getting this, when you're the ones who are pushing, you might as well extend that lead. What better way to do it than to get a Vlad's? One of the cheapest and most effective early game pushing items. Long term, we'll probably see him go for install Cuirass if the game lasts a while, but it doesn't give you much until you actually complete it, so I like the choice to rush of Vlad's here. We're going to see a bit of a tower trade attempt, but it's going to be a tier 1, maybe for tier 2, and now the base is being threatened. Navi doing a very smart thing here, which is, hey, you can have our tier 1, we'll start doing damage to your base tower, and M5 actually just going to give up this push now. They're not even going to try for the tier 2, going to go back and defend.
And I guess Puppey got a hightail out of there. We don't have a blink on the Enigma just yet, but they did draw at least 3 teleport scrolls and completely stymie the push on the bot lane as a result here. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain still free farming on the mid lane. Meanwhile, the Windrunner trying to help out in multiple lanes here. Queen of Pain's like, you know what, I'm going to just free farm here. 1600 gold. I wonder what her item choice will be. Point booster into a Bloodstone is a very common thing. Although if you want to have a Queen of Pain, have an item set that gives you very, very good early game return, I don't think the Bloodstone is a good investment. You might want to go into something else. Maybe an Acceptor, you can finish that one relatively quickly and have immediate effect in the game.
I would kind of love to see maybe something like a Necro Bulky or even a Drum. Just give them more auras. I mean, you're already looking at an early Vlad's on the Syllabear, and then you combo that with the Furon Treants, the Venge with her Vengeance Aura, of course. A lot of auras could work out pretty nicely for this lineup, and to me, it would be a nice way for them to have a little bit more staying power in the early game. You don't need to go hardcore late game. I mean, Aghanim's, of course, great anti-push. I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I just wonder if maybe some of these cheaper aura-oriented items might be more effective for them early on, as they just need to continue to survive for the next, I want to say, like 5-10 minutes. And then they're going to be looking in fantastic shape.
Engagement happening on the mid lane. VVV is going to get treated up. You can power shot. Indeed, he will do so, and he's going to be completely fine. It looks like they keep chasing here. Scream Pain. No. Ooh. Wrath of Nature keeping VVV alive. Hand of God comes in to make sure they get the kill. A lot of healing coming out from the Radiant side. One thing that we failed to mention, Voodoo Restoration plus Mecha plus Hand of God is pretty insane when it comes to healing for a long duration time. Speaking of Mecha, it's going to be finished relatively soon here on Inmate, who is playing the Chen. Meanwhile, it looks like the Radiant squad might be getting a surround on the mid here. I do believe Queen of Pain will be dead. A single Cloud is going to do it. Any kind of follow-up, son, and this Queen of Pain will be going down.
Yeah, you're getting a little robotic there, so hopefully it doesn't persist. If it does, I guess we can restart the call. We are going to see Prophet going for that mechanism, so he is going for the support, but once they get the mechanism and the Vlad's up, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, it's already pretty hard for M5 to get anything accomplished, and it's in large part due to this Kunkka pick. It's actually working out really well. You have the Prophet ultimate constantly pushing the lanes, then you have Kunkka, one of the best pushers at this stage of the game, as he's got that level 4 Tidebrainer, very low cooldown, doing a huge cleave to all the creeps, so he's pretty much killing a creep wave in about 8 seconds once he gets 2 cleaves off. And that means he's pushing extremely hard. He can also jungle quickly. He's going for a Lothars. This is going to give them even more anti-push. Lothars does synergize with Tidebringer quite nicely, as the bonus damage from going from Windwalking with Lothars does get applied to the Tidebringer. And so it's a common pickup on Kunkka anyway, but in this game especially, I think it's going to be really effective. It's going to make life very painful for the Chen. We already saw him have to waste his Hand of God there, which means they can't even attempt to push for quite a while. And to me, the window's already closing, as we do see Riki trying to engage Dendi here, but just not tank enough. I think he took 1 Tideburner. He's already down to half health. If anything is used to follow up, he might die. There is a Sentry Ward on the Venge as she comes around. If NS drops the Sentry Ward, this will be Riki's very unlucky, unhappy day. Or maybe they'll just continue to push and save that for another day. As we do see more action happening in the Dire Ancients here. Light of Heaven going to get stunned out, but he's so tanky at this point. Sitting with that complete Vlad's, he is going to go down, but it took 4 Radiant Heroes to do it.
That was some crazy gank coming here from the Radiant side. Look at the Ancient Camp jungle. Yes, there's a ward being placed there. They knew that Light of Heaven was going to jungle there, and in fact they ganked the hell out of him. So very good response, not something you will commonly see at all from any pro teams, but it worked out perfectly. They realized Light of Heaven will jungle there, and they found them. And because the tier 2 is nearby, you could actually, with the proper creep equilibrium, get a push going on, and that's exactly what they're doing. Kunkka's in position to try to defend against this push, although again, considering that he's melee, he's got to walk up to the creeps to actually get that Tidebringer off. He's actually not able to really do so, and it seems like this push will actually finally get that tier 2. And really, I don't think Na'Vi could do too much about it at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to even care about defending a tier 2 at this point. It's going to be very difficult to take a fight. Enigma has a Blink Dagger, which is actually going to work out pretty well for them. I mean, normally against the Syllabear, once he gets Radiance, that Blink Dagger becomes very ineffective. Just because the Radiance burn can permanently prevent him from getting the Blink off, unless he's really good with his positioning. But Syllabear not going that route, and it's a pretty early Blink, so it's going to work out decently for PGG. Of course, Enigma is a good early game farmer, but I am impressed that he's managed to get this much farm up, considering how much pressure he was under in the top lane early on. As we do see Venge running for life, NS might go down, but I think it's okay even if he does, as he's already spent a lot of time, wasted a lot of TPs from the Radiant side. Shackle Shot not going to hit. The chase continuing. This chase is getting a little bit too long. It's going to be time to back off soon. It's going to be a 3-on-2 here, and Enigma blinks in. No mana for the Black Hole. Stun going the other way. Oh no, that's 1 hero down. Nice cloud from Riki. PGG still sitting on the Soul Rain and the ultimate. Not sure he wants to pop that Soul Rain right now, though. The chase continuing. Riki continuing to do a lot of damage. Is there any detection on this Dire squad? No, it's not here. Only Venge at the Sentry Ward. Big Black Hole coming out. Queen of Pain might be going down. It's going to go down in the cloud. But that was a 1-hero Black Hole. Meanwhile, the bottom lane getting pushed. So Na'Vi getting something in return. I think we're going to see this tower drop. I believe all the Radiant TPs are on cooldown.
Kunkka is initiating on the Chen right now. Chen half HP will be going down very quickly here. It's only got simple boots of speed. Meanwhile, Dendi's got, of course, his treads. It made just one more torrent from Def, and it looks like they're not going to be chasing. Oh, Dendi! Using a Tidebringer slash. He was looking for that. He knew that's going to happen. Dendi showing off some massive skill in that kill. Unfortunately, they are not going to get the tower in return. Meanwhile, on the engagement happening on the top lane, I gotta say both teams went over aggressive on the chase first. Of course, the Radiant squad chased all the way down to the enemy tier tower, and then the second one looks like they chased in return, and really the over chasing resulted both teams losing more heroes than they should have.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's a fine trade for Navi. They're gonna get a tier 1, although it's a little bit after those kills happen. But you know, with no black hole, the Radiant just can't fight. And this is the problem with this is the issue with their lineup, is they're very reliant on that black hole, and they're only extremely strong, you know, team fight hero. Aside from that, I want to say, I mean, Windrunner can be decent. Witch Doctor can be decent, but Cask is not good against this dire lineup. They have a lot of summons to tank up the bounces. So it's pretty much coming down to Cloud, Shackle Shot, and Black Hole to do anything in a team fight. As we're going to see Navi easily taking a tier 2, and I think this is going to be a free Roshan afterwards. It's going to be very hard for the Radiant to defend. The Black Hole, again, still on cooldown for 100 seconds. Riki might get caught out here if they drop a sentry. He's actually going to go the offensive. Oh, great Shackle Shot from Vigas there. I believe that's Vigas. Mechanism gets popped, though. It's going to save the... Oh, Big Boat coming in, gonna hit BBV, gonna hit Witch Doctor. Cast bouncing around like crazy. Actually working out pretty well. Meanwhile, Riki continues to focus this Prophet. Not sure that's the correct target. The fight in 2 places at once. Witch Doctor gonna drop. Prophet somehow got away there. And Riki was forced to TP out. So overall, a big win for Navi. And again, without that black hole, it's just so hard for the Radiant to get anything going.
Well, when you say big win, they only got 1 kill in return. But the more important thing is they get themselves positioned to go into the Roshan if they choose to do so. The Radiant side still have to wait for the Witch Doctor and no really nearby tower to TP to. In fact, it seems like they're making a beeline down to that Roche pit, and with the Terror they should be able to do it. Speaking of Terror, it's only level 1. He has to scale up Ventrals or at level 2, which actually makes a complete sense given the fact that it seems like Navi wants to do a little bit of aura stacking. They get the Vlads and might be getting a drums here and there. It looks like Queen of Pain has opted for a Boots of Travel, so not the item that we're expecting, but also it's going to work just as well given the fact that you can join any team fight. But we're going to have a big engagement at the Roche pit. It's going to be close. Shackle Shot on 2 hero. Looks like Riki comes in. He's looking for the Aegis Seal. The Roshan losing in terms of HP. We have a lot of spell being dropped off right now. Chen in a little bit of trouble. Chen's gonna go down. Yes, indeed he will. Who picked up the Aegis? Who picked up the Aegis? Looks like Kunkka picked it up here. Meanwhile, Riki dies. Kunkka gets a dominating streak, and looks like we're gonna chase going the other way. Windrunner does not have Force Staff finish yet. Gonna pop the Windrunner trying to run up, but you gotta. Oh, he's gonna find himself Aegis. No, he's gonna try to TP out. Indeed, he's gonna make it. Wow, very, very close.
Man, that fight, it looked so bad for Navi. They're getting jacked at the last second with a 2-hero Shackle Shot plus a Smoke Cloud, but the Mechanism did so much to save them. Prophet did a great job of kind of backstabbing there. He drove the Chen away, and I believe though it was the Witch Doctor as well, driving those supports away so they couldn't help their team. Again, if you have a black hole in that situation, man, that is a totally different fight. As they would have been able to pick heroes off, let's say before the Mechanism was dropped, maybe even jack the Roshan Aegis there, but it just didn't work out. Of course, the black hole's back up now, but Navi now with a commanding lead. I'm sure the gold difference is quite significant. Yeah, it's past 12,000, and I knew they were leading just because they were farming the map and pushing all the lanes, but man, what a just big swing in their favor.
Yeah, so that over-aggressive black hole on the top lane here used by PVG really, I mean, I guess 1.5 minutes later really, I guess lost them the game or lost them the big advantage. Not even an advantage, they were kind of even in the game, but after that they were really down behind.
Put them even more on the back foot. Queen of Pain has picked up a Force Staff. That's going to be very good against Riki, as you can Force Staff your allies out of the Smoke Cloud. You can no longer Force Staff anyone out of Enigma Black Hole. You used to be able to do that. But nonetheless, it's still going to be good just to help deal with that Riki. So I like the choice there. It allows her to help not only herself, but also her teammates. As we're going to see Chen getting caught out in the jungle here. Chen going to be forced to waste the Hand of God. That was a horrible choice. He's going to go down. Now there's no Hand of God available for the base defense. I think Vigas might be in a little bit of trouble here too. We're going to see Witch Doctor most likely going out. PGG dropping Black Hole. There's no damage though. Where is Riki? He's farming top. He's TPing in. This is going to be way too late. It's looking very bleak for M5. TP out from Vigas will be able to get away. No entangle. PGG being harassed down by the Queen of Pain. Diffusal Blade was up on the Riki. I believe it was up in the last fight. Definitely up now. The Gem going to be scouting him out. Are we going to see Magic Missile? No, Riki not able to get in range. But I think all the Dire need to do is maybe heal up and go straight for the push. No Hand of God, no Black Hole.
Yep, Black Hole was again used prematurely, or maybe, I mean, Two-man Black Hole always looks cool, especially when Midnight Pulse is down, but really when no one is actually doing the damage on your team, it's not really going to help out. Ricky not really in position, so you could blame Ricky's fault on that one as well. But yeah, double Force Staff up. We talked about how Force Staff is going to be the key item to counter Ricky Maru. I was not expecting Queen of Pain to pick it up because it's just not a common item buy. But hey, Navi says we will get the item that will benefit us at whatever stage of the game, and they're doing it perfectly. That mecha, by the way, it's just been absolutely key. A lot of engagement where very low HP heroes such as a Vengeful Spirit or a Prophet would have just flat out died. Pop the mech, and considering that we're so early in the game, they're going to restore a huge percentage of their HP pool, and looks like these two supports are going to be jungling up. Any level is going to Vengeful Spirit, especially picking up that level 11, absolutely crucial at this point. Meanwhile, if you look at the mini-map, Navi doing a perfect job in terms of keeping up ward control. A sign of a good team is that when you're winning and creeping into enemy territory, ward up as necessary. You can see the ward very deep in the enemy territory. That's going to allow the mobile heroes such as Prophet, the Queen of Pain to set up any necessary ganks, and they have been setting up those ganks. Invisible, Queen of Pain earlier setting up gang. Looks like Queen of Pain is going to be looking for a Chen. Probably not the best side to blink in, but might actually do so. Oh my god, it's going to do it. Focus on Ame. Ame is going to die. Weck really low. In fact, Maledict is on. Oh, the teleport in. Can he make it out? Can he make it out? Looks like he's going to barely make it out, but that was the kill necessary. And they're going to pull off the Chen creeps, which means that Chen is not going to be useful at all if he even can get out of jungle to find those creeps again.
Hey, who said Silver wasn't going to get farmed? I hope it wasn't me, because he's got a 22-minute Sacred Relic up. And this was against what was, again, like I said, at times a tri-lane. They're going to be going for high ground here. I think they definitely can. Hand of God is up with Black Hole. Again, one of the longest cooldown spells, if not the longest in the game. I actually don't know offhand, but it's definitely up there. And it's going to mean no Black Hole. This push can be incredibly hard to defend. Bear just destroying that tower. There's been reports that Demolish is not working properly, but even if it's not, the Bear is still absolutely decimating the tower. So if Demolish isn't working, just imagine when it is. Either way, whether it's working or not, tower going to be taking a bunch of damage. PGG trying to go on the offensive here. I don't think that's the correct choice. If they back off, I will talk a little bit more about the map control that you were discussing. I think they're going to continue to push. They may not, as Queen of Pain is in the top lane, but of course, with the Boots of Travel, it's a nice choice for just general aggression. I think it fits in especially well this game. You already have a Prophet. And of course, you have the map control, so you're going to be able to TP into the Bear anytime you want, TP into the Prophet Treants. It pretty much means that you tighten the noose, and now you can make sure they don't wriggle out of it. I was toggling the Fog of War for a little while there, and I don't know if you've noticed, but the Radiant see absolutely nothing at this point. If they do see a little bit of the top lane, but they don't see any of their jungle, they don't see their own Ancients, they don't see the runes. Navi has complete map control. It's thanks to the wards, it's also thanks to just pushing all the lanes. Constantly keeping the lanes pushed means it's not safe to go anywhere in between the lanes, such as the jungle.
It looks like this push is going to be happening on the bot lane here. Navi with 5. Queen of Pain is in position. Kunkka, by the way, has win for crits and shadow play, so we're going to see some big crits here. Black Hole is back up here, so look forward to then PGG to draw some Black Hole, and this might not be it. No, it's just...
Oh, the bow comes in. Is it going to hit?
Yeah, that's going to hit. Meanwhile, we have Ricky already went down here, and Witch Doctor's going to go down as well. PGG in trouble, is going to get sent back by the Chen, but the Raxes, they're not going to get sent back. 8 Treants surrounding, 8 or 5 Treants surrounding that Rax. Rax is going to go down here. Ricky's going to buy back and still die one more time. Hanaga gets a pop, but a little bit too late. Black Hole drop again. No damage coming from the Radiant side. Scream Bang doing massive damage. Shackle Shot next. PB just calls GG go next because, well, it is GG already.
Game was good. Game is also over at this point. I mean, man, that fight was just Navi an absolute dominating form. We've seen this, I think, 2 or 3 matches already in the Premier League where other teams try to pick these greedy lineups, Fnatic being the most notable of them, and it just completely failed, but Navi showing how it's done. Picking 5 pretty farm, EXP-oriented and dependent heroes, and making it work from minute 1. I mean, they really were never behind in this game. It was even for a little bit, I would say, but that was the closest that M5 got to even making this competitive. As the throne will be going down shortly, so whether the GGs are called or not, game is over at this point.
A little bit of diving here. Oh shoot!
Oh, I missed it. Kunkka really never would have found. Sorry, guys.
Look, Kunkka, he's got 3 Chrysalis.
I just saw all those kills. It's okay, the game was over. I do apologize for missing that found camping action. I know that's something that everyone loves to see. As that's going to be game 1. So we'll be right back with game 2. Just going to load into the next lobby, so let me put up a waiting screen.
Of course, I am Luminous from DotaComTears.com. Joining me alongside was LD from DotaComTears.com as well. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will be coming back with game number 2. GG, guys.